Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel. I'm Tamim Karis, aka Mrs. Chitamba. Where's your ring?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Welcome to our wedding planning series. Today we're going to be talking about venue selection. Yay. All right, so I have notes. All right, so first we're going to touch on our budget, and that is Mr. Chitamba.
Oh, that's my part to speak. Okay. So just a brief primer for those who are here for the first time. We are married. We are recently married. We wedded in Zimbabwe. And we planned a wedding in 4 months. With regards to like our venue budget, right? Initially, when I got into this, I was not too clued up as to what to expect. So I did what every every person who's planning a wedding for the first time does. Just go on to Google search and search for wedding venues in Harare and see what you get. And then you get slapped in the face with venues that are costing 10,000, 8,000, 7,000. And so those are the first prices that I saw, right? But then, unfortunately, I had a cousin and a friend who were wedding around the same period, and they told me what they got, and I was now beginning to see like how it's possible to have it at a nice venue for just around 2.8 to 3.2, 3.3 thousand US dollars, right? And that would be an amount that includes the venue itself, probably the deco and the deco labor, and maybe the catering labor, which means the cooking and the dishing of the food and stuff, right? So your mid-tier, you know, those ones that are in your 2.8 to 3.5 or 4,000 range, which includes catering labor and everything. You don't really get to see websites of those. Some of them don't even have websites. It's just if you know, you get referrals and stuff. You see pictures on social media and then you ask, hey, where did you do this? And then you see the venue. So that was the initial budget that I had. Nothing above 3.5, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was a budget. Nothing above 3.5. Or you hadn't first on it?
Yes. No, the venue budget. Venue budget, yes.
Because you're not gonna go over it.
No, I wasn't gonna, because I knew that they were.
If we needed over it, you're gonna say, I'm gonna contribute. If we'd found something, let's say something that was above, 4, something that we really loved.
Four I could have, right? If it had. We could have 4. We could have if it had like the extra stuff that justifies it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But based on our shopping around, it looked like we could do something with 3.5.
Yeah. Okay, so that was our budget, right? 3.5. And so before I mention the venues that we viewed, I just want to mention that when we started venue searching, or at least looking to view them, right, I personally did not have a proper vision of what venue I wanted, but I had certain things that I knew I would like. For example, I knew I'd like the green scenery, like trees, a beautiful lawn, that vibe for pictures, right? Because I was not planning on going to a different location for pictures, so I just wanted I wanted it to be in the same place. It didn't even cross my mind Kuti would go to a different.
Yeah, it just had to be
exactly picturesque. I knew I wanted that because also our wedding was kind of in summer-ish. I knew I wanted like trees that would provide shade. That I knew, but a proper vision of what I wanted it to look like, dololo. Whether I wanted pavement or what, I did not have a cooking clue. I only started having a better picture of what I wanted after we did viewings. Yeah. Did you have a vision of?
Can you imagine? I, as a husband, right? That's one of the challenges I faced with her during this venue search, because I would be like, okay, babe, I found this. Does it look nice? And the person doesn't really know what she wants. She's like,
if I saw something I didn't like, I knew I didn't like it, but I didn't know what I wanted.
You didn't know what she liked, you know what I mean? So, and initially, I kind of like had to drag her to start doing viewings. She hadn't boarded that train like that yet. Like I understand, because these things are happening so fast, right? So I guess your mind was still catching up. So the first viewing we did, I'm the one who orchestrated it, and you didn't seem too keen, right? You only started seeming excited when we actually were at the venue. That's when I was
Story of my life.
Yeah.
Story of my life. That's how my excitement levels go.
So just
Did you have a vision for yourself?
picturesque, yes. So my theory is, in this day and age, your venue has to be picturesque, right? We would rather not have food. The venue has to be picturesque. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Because that's the one thing that will remain forever. The pictures.
The
of your
pictures,
wedding.
yeah. We're not gonna remember the food. Like I really don't remember what I ate.
I don't
But
remember.
anyways.
It was just basic rice and beef.
Chicken. Which I probably didn't even
Kosolo.
eat because I was high up. But anyway, so I'm gonna just mention the venues that we did 6 viewings in total, which is not a lot, but it worked.
That was enough. We had 4 months.
Yeah, wait for
Mind
months. If the lighting shifted, please, sorry. So we did, like I said, 6 viewings. The first 2 we did together. Like he said, he orchestrated the first 2 and we did those 2 together. We went to More Happy Gardens
Happy.
in Hatfield.
Hatfield, yeah.
In Hatfield, and Munondo in Hatfield as well.
Yeah, they're both in Hatfield.
Both
we
are in-
just like attach their pictures, or I don't know,
Yeah,
links, Facebook links. or
I
whatever.
have some viewing videos of them as well. So, quick review of More Happy. More Happy was the first venue we went to, and I loved it. Right, it had the green scenery that I wanted. It had this beautiful tent, and I think the day we visited as well, it was like a beautiful day. Like the sky was clear with a bit of clouds, so it just made the place look like wow. And being the first venue that I viewed, I was like, this is what a wedding would look like. I started already envisioning it, right? The excitement now started to kick in. The excitement you're talking about. It started to kick in and I really liked it. The price was amazing. It was 2.8.
2.8, yeah.
It was so within our budget. It was
That's so
2.8 for 600 guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it had the ceremony area and then it had a reception area, a big tent that accommodated. They say 600 people, but actually I don't think it's 600 people when you would come to think about it.
She's just trying to push business.
Yeah, but the place is really beautiful. It's well kept. I will definitely insist. You'll see it as I'm speaking about it.
That's actually not what she said when we were actually at the
Maybe
place.
I liked it.
Maybe
When we were at the place, I was still.
Initially, you were not sure, right? And then we went to view something else. And then after like 2 more viewings, you now were like, you know what? I actually now like this
No,
place.
I remember
You know what I mean?
when we went to view Munondo, because Munondo was a bit more closed up. More Happy was open, like that openness that I realized I wanted. More Happy was more enclosed, right? So that's when I was like referring to More Happy, and I was like, I actually like More Happy. The area, the openness, yeah, that's what happened.
So it was a journey of both finding venues and finding what she likes.
Yes, finding myself. And then More Happy was nice. The tent was nice. It was so big. But I said like the reception area for me was a bit too enclosed. I didn't see how people would be able to move around freely.
Yeah.
I wanted people to have enough space to move around, park cars, and just have freedom to move.
Just have freedom, yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
No, we also viewed Shiloh.
Shiloh, you were by yourself. But Shiloh was the first we considered. We
Yeah,
sent
because we
communication to, 'cause-
found out about it on YouTube from this Zim couple.
We planned to view it first, but we didn't
didn't.
end up viewing it first.
Okay.
She viewed it after I had left because I was in Zim for like just 3 weeks.
Yeah, after
She was
Lobola.
in Zim for a couple of more weeks after that. So our time of viewing was limited. We just like had a 5-week window to do any. I would say 3 weeks because 2 or 3 of those 5 weeks were busy doing the Lobola and everything. Right? So I would say 3-week window of actually viewing everything that we wanted. And so some of the viewings she had to be accompanied by friends and family to just go and
Shout out to you, Fadzi and Bakev
Bakevi.
and
to attend the Basara Marita.
my Fadzi. We thank you. Thank you.
Incredible help.
My girl, she fought him. Yeah, so
Just
those
list,
2.
Just list the other ones.
So the other 4 that I viewed with other people, friends and family, were this one next to Munondo, I forgot the place. That was one of them. Swan Creek, Everbright Gardens, and then of course Shiloh Gardens. So
why
in
didn't you like
total-
Swan Creek? Was it the one that had like uphill?
Should I shade? Oh yes, no, there's no shade. Yes, it had this steep, not up. It has this steep. No, it's steep.
Yeah.
It was steep, and I was like, oh, imagine you're going down with heels, and not that it was just straight up. They had like stairs, but it was. I just didn't trust it.
What she's trying to say is
I didn't trust
there was
it.
too much terrain. There was too much like angled and slopey terrain on the wedding
and people are wearing
premises,
heels.
right?
Like,
And this is a sentiment that you even come across when you look at their reviews and stuff, right? So that's why it's very important to do physical viewings, because I remember during the process, one of the things that I would try, especially after I had left and she remained on the ground, one of the
This man wanted
things,
me to do viewings.
one of the
physically.
things that I insisted and pushed on is, baby, we may look at pictures of a venue, right? But I only want you to make a decision after you have physically been there. Because had we seen Swan Creek on pictures, right, she would not have realized that aspect about
Yeah,
it.
because on pictures it looks nice. Like
On
they
pictures
make
it
it
looks
look
nice, right?
really.
But it's only
wedding-like
being there
that you see.
would have given her that insight. So I was very strict on that. I was like, no, baby, you will have to go and see the place before you make a decision. Don't just tell me
Need to sit
that
comfortable.
it's nice, you would want it.
I was very strict, Jim, and it was so annoying. But thank you, it paid off. It was so like Everbright Gardens. I was traveling the next day.
Yo, so
Right.
this is now how we found the venue that we actually did.
Yeah, but before that, I was traveling the next day, right? And this man quickly makes calls. Like, there's this venue I saw the day before I'm supposed to travel, and he's like, you need to sit. I'm like, dude, it's late. I don't even know where I was coming from that day. I was coming from somewhere.
You were annoyed by
I
other
think
things.
there was a lot going
There was a lot going on.
And he's like, you need to go see a venue. I'm like, when, bro? I'm traveling tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. you're traveling. I'm
The
like,
evening we couldn't, so we tried to get Mama Fadzi, my mother, all right, to take me, but then she was going to be late and the person was gonna leave. So I was like, okay, and then she was like, Ande Mark saying before, so we had to wake up way earlier than I had planned. And anyway, but anyways, we thank God that's what ended up being our
That's what
venue,
ended up-
Everbright
surprisingly.
Gardens. Surprisingly, I think it was just one of those things where the Lord was like, Chigotorai, take this one, and I was happy with it.
and when she went to view it, hey, how refreshing it was, right? When she went, so first of all, as she said, she was quite hesitant because I found this venue last minute. As she said, she was traveling the next day out of the country, right? And I just found this venue last minute. I called her like 4 p.m. of that day to be like, hey, you need to go view this venue. She was not keen. I understood the circumstances, right? But it was a tough ask, but I felt like it had to be done. Then she goes to view it, and then the first message she sends me, she's like, I love it, with exclamation marks and heart emojis. I was like, I didn't believe it at first. I was like, baby, are you sure? You're not just telling me this because you are tired of trying to decide, right?
I was tired.
And then she said, no, I love it, blah, 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 blah. She began to describe. I was like, so refreshing. That's all I needed. Thank you. That's all I needed. A venue that you yourself.
That's all you need. No, so sweet. Yeah, so that is our venue searching story.
Yeah.
It was very interesting, stressful, but worth it. I like the fact that as we viewed more and more, or at the few that we viewed, I had started having a better picture of what I wanted. But please, when you start, at least have an idea of what you want. It will save you so much problems, and not really problems, but it just save you a lot of frustrations and going back and forth. Like if you know you want green scenery, you check that. If you know you want open air spaces, just get a feel of what you want before you start viewing, or do like me and just wing it.
Yeah, because this girl didn't have much of.
But we thank God,
God.
it happened. It became easier. So we're just want to share some tips, right, on your venue selection. Tips that we have. Is it curated?
Gathered, curated, yeah, put together.
Curate English. We've put together from our own experience, and we don't want to make this video too long, so it's going to be on a part 2, the one that's going to come after this one. So please look out for that one. Yes, so thank you for watching. If you've reached the end of this video, please look out for the one to come. I think I'll post it tomorrow. This one is coming out Thursday, so the tips one will come tomorrow. Yeah. Okay.
Bye. Anyway, we're back now.
I know.